Good morning. It is Monday, August 17th. And just as usual, we're blazing through time. It's halfway through August and we're getting on the tail end of summer already. I'll preface this again with hoping everybody is safe and doing well and, staying healthy and, but living your life. So just wanted to throw that out there. One of the things I wanted to cover today is I've ran into this. I had a conversation with a lifter Thursday last week and then a lifter this morning and online. And one of the things that I'm finding is we have a tendency to trust how we feel. Now, let me go back a little bit. If something hurts, like if there's a sharp pain associated with it when you're training or exercising, then by all means you should investigate that and stop. But as it pertains to a power lifter in their training, a lot of times if we rely and trust our feelings, we sell ourselves short. So let me explain. And everybody has their threshold, and I understand that. But for me, I have done this a very, very long time, and I have been, for the most part, relatively injury-free. Now, there's been tweaks, and as I have gotten older, some of those tweaks have been a little more severe, and even some injuries. Right at the beginning of this, the pandemic outbreak, I was doing some side work for someone, and leaned over a bathtub. Now, the genesis of this could have been somewhere else. I will tell you, I felt pretty tight. It was a Tuesday that I squatted, and it was a Thursday after training that I tweaked my back to the point that I didn't squat and deadlift for about 3 weeks. And my shoulders were really snug, and I will tell you, coming off of what has been a 20-year career with the most significant time I've taken off my entire career was probably 2013. I took 7 days off to go to Florida. It was the first real vacation I had been on in a number of years, and I didn't train at all. And up until that point, there's always been, training for IPF Worlds, USAPL Nationals, training for Elite. I dieted down when I was 48 years old to 308 to try to total Open Elite, and did. I won a Masters Nationals and World Cup in Olympic weightlifting, and then had a 2-year run where I was training strongman as well, and I won a Masters Nationals. That's all really cool and everything, and I'm very blessed and fortunate to have done it, but it also comes with a price. And coming back from Worlds and trying to hit the ground running because of some schedule changes, and would I not be competing, and then of course the pandemic sealed the deal on that. I just finally, between that, tweaking my back and shoulders, I needed a break. I literally have not had a break. And it allowed me to get some things done on my addition, so on and so forth. So it was not just a physical break, it was a mental, even emotional break. But in coming back, and why that's all important, if I trusted how I felt, then I probably would not even be training. I tested my bench, I tested everything, and basically it was horrendous because I probably trained 3 or 4 weeks after a 3-week layoff and missed basically what either my squat or deadlift openers raw, and was able to hit my last raw warm-up before I got in a shirt going into Worlds, and it wasn't pretty. And it was just my body, is just not ready for the throes of training heavier after that kind of a layoff. And so what I have learned through this process, and it was something that I've known, is if you've ever done this where If you don't video your lifting, by all means you should. It's as vital and crucial as you keeping a training log. And I'm not talking about just keeping a training log on your phone. There's something about writing it down in a notebook and having that notebook and committing to writing it down that I think really helps the lifter retain that information. So and when you watch those videos and you take notes to put into your training log, one of the things that I see over and over and over, and especially for myself, something will feel horrendous, like it just doesn't feel good, it doesn't really feel fast, and then you watch the video and it doesn't look so bad, and it looks, way, way better than it felt. And that's where feelings will lie to you. They will lead you astray, because it's never about how a weight feels. It's about how well you execute your form. So I have a couple of lifters that are going through some things. It's not injuries, it's just some different things. And the impact of how they feel has a huge play mentally on how they train and how comfortable they are with training. So what I've had them do is we video, is I go over the videos with them, or they send me video, and teach them and start looking at, at an analytic level, what do they see, not what they feel. The feelings don't matter. We can't rely on those feelings. What do they see? How well did they execute? And when you take that emotional aspect out of it, it helps you mentally be more prepared and better as a lifter. Because what our focus is form, style, and technique, and the execution of that form, style, and technique. That's really what it comes down to. Because if we're worried about how a PR feels when it's over 100%, if that's what we're relying on, we're going to fail more often than be successful. So those are the things that I want you to look at in your training. Look at the video. What does the video tell you? What your training partner, if you've got training partners and they're good training partners, they're going to be very honest. They're going to scrutinize the lift, and they're going to give you good, honest feedback don't take it personally. They are on your team. They want you to do well. So when they tell you something, I rely on their eyes, and I can only video from one angle, and so they're generally, the people that are there when I'm training are standing at different angles, one, to keep me safe, and two, if they're not spotting, then they're watching the lift from a different angle than I'm videoing from, and being experienced lifters can tell me, hey, this is what I saw, and I can tell them, yeah, I felt that, I felt this morning, I think my second set of doubles, I pressed forward and had to kind of regroup, and when you make that adjustment, I was a little bit higher on the press out than I wanted to be. It was no problem. The set went well, but it's something that I needed to focus on, because I did 3 sets of 2 this morning and was going to do a couple of singles and then some touch and go sets as I'm starting to increase the volume and get back into the same level of training that I was prior to Worlds. So we're not there yet, but it is certainly better. And just to give you an idea, I'm probably at week 11-ish. I'm going to say give or take a week. I'm not specifically sure. I just looked at the number, and it's a 16-week program, and I'm not training for anything anytime soon, and not even sure if I ever will again. I wouldn't say that. I would never say never, but I'm just not sure. But what I've learned, that even, I turned 55 in a week, and I would dare say there's not a lot of 54, 55-year-old guys that are benching 400 plus pounds with a pause. So that's kind of where I'm at, and hopefully this, again, I want these videos always to be a teaching tool, a learning tool, and create discussion and see what we all can learn from this. And hopefully I can learn from you as well. But don't trust your feelings. I mean, unless there's a sharp pain or something is really wrong, your feelings are going to lead you astray. Rely on your training partners, rely on your intuition as an athlete, rely on what you see in the video, be honest about it, and no ego, because what we want to do is we want to get to the point that we are performing and executing at the highest level. That's what matters, not how we feel. So anyway, hopefully you take something from this and learn something. All right, God bless, have a great day.